The gravity of being, why mind over matter often fails the human experience. In the modern landscape of self-help and contemporary spirituality, few ideas are as pervasive as the notion that your thoughts create your reality. It is a concept marketed as the ultimate form of empowerment, a promise that through the sheer force of intention, visualization, and speaking things into existence, we can build a life of health, wealth, and uninterrupted happiness. However, when this philosophy is held up to the light of social psychology, theology, and anthropology, its cracks become visible. While intention is a powerful tool for personal growth, the extreme application of manifestation often descends into a form of magical thinking that ignores the biological, systemic, and tragic realities of the human condition. To find a more resilient way of living, we must look beyond the mantra and confront the complex gravity of being human. The psychological cost of the just world fallacy. From a psychological perspective, the belief that thoughts directly dictate reality is a modern iteration of the just world hypothesis. This is a cognitive bias where we desperately want to believe that the world is inherently fair, that people get what they deserve. If I believe my thoughts, or my positive thoughts, created my success, I feel a sense of safety and control. However, the shadow side of this belief is devastating. If we credit our vibrations for our successes, we must, by the same logic, blame the victim for their tragedies. When a saintly person who has lived a life of service and kindness dies of cancer at 45, the thoughts create reality narrative suggests a hidden failure of the mind. It implies they spoke their illness into existence or failed to manifest their healing. This creates a double burden. The person is not only suffering from a biological catastrophe, but is also saddled with the guilt of having supposedly caused it. This brand of toxic positivity suppresses the necessary process of grief and replaces empathy with an intellectual judgment. The theological error, the vending machine deity. Theologically, the idea that we can speak it into existence often mirrors what is known as the prosperity gospel. This framework reduces the divine or the universe to a cosmic vending machine. It suggests that if we provide the right input, faith, positive words, or visualization, the universe is obligated to provide the desired output. This contradicts the core tenets of most profound spiritual traditions, which grapple with the theodicy, the mystery of why suffering exists. The great spiritual figures of history were rarely characterized by lives of ease. From the biblical story of Job to the martyrdom of saints, history suggests that righteousness is not a shield against the laws of nature. A robust theology recognizes that we are not the sole creators of our universe. We are co-creators, living within a framework of sovereignty and mystery. To suggest that a person can simply command reality is to ignore the humility required to face a world that is often beyond our comprehension. The anthropological function of magical thinking. Anthropology offers a different lens. Why is this idea so popular? Historically, humans have always used imitative magic to manage the anxiety of an unpredictable world. Ancient rituals to call the rain serve the same psychological function as modern manifesting boards. They provided a sense of agency in the face of helplessness. In our current hyper-individualistic culture, this has taken a commercial turn. We use blessing as a social script to signal our status. When someone says they were blessed with a luxury home, They are often implicitly suggesting they are in the in-group of the universe's favor. This creates a social hierarchy of vibrations where those who suffer, the poor, the sick, the marginalized, are viewed as spiritually or mentally unaligned. It ignores the anthropological truth that we are biological beings subject to entropy, genetics, and the collective actions of our community. The alternative: grounded agency and tragic optimism. If thoughts create reality is a half-truth, what is the whole truth? The answer lies in moving from magical thinking to grounded agency. Grounded agency acknowledges that while we cannot control the events of our lives, we have a profound influence over our response to them. This is what psychiatrist Viktor Frankl called tragic optimism. It is the ability to remain optimistic, not because we believe we can avoid pain, but because we believe we can find meaning within it. The saintly person who dies young did not fail a mental test. They lived out the biological reality of a fragile body in a complex world. Their good thoughts did not grant them immunity from death, but they likely granted them a life of deep connection, a legacy of love, and a death met with dignity. That is the true power of the mind, not to bend the laws of physics, but to transcend them through the creation of meaning. Embracing a braver reality. The mantras of manifestation offer a thin comfort that shatters the moment life gets difficult. To truly support one another, we must trade these magic words for a more courageous honesty. We must accept that we live in a world where bad things happen for no reason, where bodies fail despite our best intentions, and where blessings are not always a reflection of our merit. When we let go of the need to speak reality into existence, we gain something much better: the ability to stand in the truth of reality as it is. We learn that we are not failures for suffering, and we are not alone in our fragility. By acknowledging the limits of our thoughts, we finally open the door to genuine empathy, communal support, and a hope that is grounded in the earth rather than lost in the clouds of magical thinking.